Breaking news. Buhari dragged to Commonwealth for sanction. I think Buhari is not having this thing easy at all. The mistake he made, I just wonder what will happen to that media aide that used Buhari's name to tweet that very atrocious tweet that made what's his name, Lai Mohammed, to announce that they deleted Buhari's comments. As a result, Twitter is banned from Nigeria. As we are speaking, Buhari has been dragged to Commonwealth, for sanction because this man has done what is wrong. What is wrong is wrong. There is no other name for it. If it is wrong, it is wrong. Now, this is what is happening. You see, Muhammadu Buhari tweeted something that was out of Twitter's policies and order, and he feels they have no right, to speak against what he has done. As a result, he's throwing tantrums, and nobody can, will sit back and allow him go in that state. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if this is your first time. Let's get all the details. Buhari dragged to Commonwealth for sanction. A Nigerian group has asked the Commonwealth to apply its chapter to hold the President of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari's government, to account over the suspension of Twitter. Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project (CEROP) sent the urgent appeal to Patrick Scotland, Secretary General of the Commonwealth. CEROP said Buhari's action mounted to an aberration and repress of human rights, particularly the right to freedom of expression, access to information and media freedom, as well as flagrant disregard for the rule of law. The organization asked Scotland to urgently consider recommending the suspension of Nigeria from the Commonwealth to the heads of government and to push the Buhari's government to take concrete measures to respect and promote Commonwealth values of human rights, transparency, accountability, and the rule of law. CEROP Deputy Director Kolawole signed the appeal dated 5th of May 2021. The organization said that Nigerian government has repeatedly demoralized the people that is not committed to promoting human rights. The Commonwealth should take a clear stance to ensure accountability of institutes, freedom of expression and access to information in Nigeria. Nigeria can only freely participate in the democratic process and shape the society in which they live in if these fundamental human rights are fully efficiently respected, promoted, and protected. The suspension has the character of collective punishment and is authenticated to the Nigerian Constitution and the country's international obligation. Nigeria's government would seem to be suppressing people's access to Twitter to exploit and shut down to cover allegations of corruption, abuse, restrict freedom of expression, and other fundamental human rights. The appeal was sent by Mr. Antonio Grayson, Secretary General of the United Nations, and Mrs. Michelle Bachelet, UN High Commissioner for Human Rights. It reads in part, the Nigerian government has also called for the prosecution of those who violate in order suspending Twitter operation in Nigeria. This order for prosecution of Twitter users violates the legal rule that there should be no punishment without law. The principle that only the law can define a crime and prohibit a penalty, norm what is on ground. It is a fundamental part of Nigerian constitution, prejudice that cannot be eroded. The Commonwealth Chapter recognizes the right of individuals to participate in democratic process, in particular through peaceful exercise of freedom of expression and access to information which apply to both on and offline. Respect for Commonwealth value is essential for citizens to trust Commonwealth Institute, and Commonwealth ought to take a strong stand to protect human rights, transparency, the rule of law in Nigeria. The principles are fundamental to the Commonwealth integrity, function, and effectiveness of its institution. Following citizens to freedom, expression, and human rights, including freedom of expression and access to information, this Nigerian government has come against. Nigerian government has a legal responsibility under the Nigerian Constitution of the 1999 as amended, and international human rights trend include that African Chapter on Human and People's Rights, an international convention on civil and political rights, to respect, protect, and promote freedom, expression, access to information, and to ensure a safe and enabling environment for people to enjoy these rights. The suspension of Twitter in Nigeria demonstrates the authority determination to suppress all form of peaceful existence of the Nigerian people to be able to reach and disseminate information. The human rights situation in Nigeria will deteriorate even further if urgent action is not taken to address this immediately. According to our information, the Nigerian government on 4th of June, 2021, unlawfully ordered all internet service providers to suspend Twitter in Nigeria. The suspension of Twitter operation in Nigeria follows the deleting of President Muhammadu Buhari's tweet, which according to Twitter violates the Twitter rule. Suspension of Twitter in Nigeria is taking place against the background of repression of the civil space and harassment of media houses and journalists who are the target simply for performing their professional duties. The suspension of Twitter has seriously undermined transparency, accountability in government. The lack of transparency undermined the rule of law and Nigerian ability to participate in their own government. Lack of transparency, accountability, and the absence of the rule of law in Nigeria have attributed hugely to deny Nigeria and Nigerians their fundamental human rights. People have been targeted simply for using Twitter, peaceful exchange of goods and services, freedom of rule of law. So, Buhari has been dragged to international Commonwealth for sanctioning, and we'll keep you informed as the matter progresses what happens next. So we'll keep you informed. Stay with us always. Please don't forget to always like us, share, subscribe, click on the notification button so you can get all our latest news. It is important we are informed, because when you are informed, you rightfully make decisive judgments that could affect around you positively. God bless you. Do have a lovely day. Bye for now.